Hey up guys, it's Stormboy13. On this filming date, it is my birthday, so I'm over the moon. Feel like a year older. Anyways, it is now time to do an official update. Next month is April, and what can we expect the outlook to be? Well, here were some predictions, and well, as we know, March could be a slightly wet month now. It's been raining non-stop over the last 2 weeks, but will next month also be a washout? Well, we're gonna find out. Come with me after the intros. The storm has now arrived. Well, as we know, the intro is done. It's now time for business. So, I'm very all keen to wonder, what will April bring? Will it be another washout like March has been so far? Or could it be something very promising? Could we have another heat wave? We're going to find out all of those answers, and I'm always go through week by week basis, and that's what we're going to do. So, let's begin things off. As we know, we're likely to see, after a fairly wet first half of the March, the weather will be not quite as consistently wet. There will be a chance of some lengthier dry spells, and it will be a bit warmer as well. And there is even a small chance of some very warm weather before we may see things turning much colder and possibly briefly wetter by the end of March. But then as we approach into April, what could that bring? Well, most computer models are predicting that when we head into April, we are expecting to see a fairly big area of high pressure going to sweep its way across the UK. And it looks like that pattern could stay like this for a couple of weeks. So when April begins, it could be a chance that April may start off very, very dry, with little rain to talk about. There might just be a few isolated showers on a few days, but in the majority of the days overall, it's dry with way less than a millimetre of rain throughout those, let's say, 14 days. So yes, the first half of April could be a very, very dry one. The first week, it's not expected to be like a wall-to-wall sunshine. It's predicting that temperatures could be several degrees below the average, so it could be quite a cold start to April. Probably not quite as low as 2018, when the first day only reached 5 Celsius. We'll be predicting that those temperatures will be in a range around 7 to 8 degrees Celsius the first few days of April. So it's not going to be anything too warm, and because we've got blanket clouds and a northwesterly flow, as we're just under the eastern ridge of the high pressure, it's not going to be anything, let's say, roasting by any means. It is going to be a predominantly cool, cloudy start to the new working month. But I think progressively throughout the first part of the week, from midweek onwards, the winds may change direction to a bit more of a westerly, southwesterly, so temperatures will recover a bit to around average values, and the cloud will hopefully break up to reveal more prolonged spells of sunshine. So some very decent days to be looking forward to. You know, we may get to see some misty mornings and then sunny afternoons especially. So generally it'll be a very settled first week, probably cloudy to start with, and then midweek onwards, pleasant warm sunshine to look forward to. So yeah, that's what the plan would be. And then the first weekend of April, temperatures again could be fairly warm. We could potentially see into the mid-teens. And again, plenty of sunshine to look forward to. Pressure's very high at this stage, so not a huge amount of cloud to worry about. Again, it could be a few misty mornings, but that should evaporate very quickly. And some sunshine will be to look forward to. So really, the first week of April, according to some computer models, suggests it could be a very, very decent start to the month. Now, the second week of April. The second week is still looking very dry overall. The high pressure stays in control. How warm will it be? Well, what the models predict is that it is going to be a little bit more mixed in terms of temperature feel, although most likely once again the first half of the second week. It could be a little bit cooler. We might see some cloud feeding in from certain areas, depending on what direction of the wind comes from, but it could be that we may see some low cloud or mist lingering around, especially into the morning hours. Now, because at this stage the days will be slightly longer than the nights, it gives an opportunity for the cloud to burn away. It doesn't always, but it can do. So ideally, some days there will be low cloud and mist could linger for several hours. Other days it can just clear off very quickly before 10 a.m. So there's no certain what days. It will be warm, what days it will be cool. But let's say most likely the first half of the week we will see plenty of mist and low cloud lingering. Temperatures just close to average. There might be some limited sunshine, but that's what it is. There may be other days that we'll see more prolonged spells of sunshine, and temperatures as a result will be climbing very quickly. At this stage we could potentially see some very warm weather around. Temperatures may be into the high teens. Now it's not as high as last year's fires. I doubt that we're going to get temperatures into the mid-20s once again this April, but it's possible, but it's very unlikely though. But that's potentially, we could see the warmest weather as we get winds coming from a southerly into the second weekend of April. We could see temperatures hit the high teens, and maybe for a few areas in the Midlands, the low 20s. And it's probably likely to be the warmest part all month long. So that's what the predictions are on the computer models. Now, what about the third week of April? Now, the third week, temperature's still fairly mild. We're going to get winds from the southwesterlies. Low pressure will start to take over, but because it's a warm thing, because it's not going directly above, most days of the third week, temperatures may be slightly above average, but it could be turning slightly wetter. Now, some days there will be some dry ones. We will see again some warm sunshine. Temperatures once again mid-teens, maybe close to the high teens on some days. But I think other days on the third week we could see some rain around after maybe a very dry first week of April, which might be quite welcome. There will be some typical April showers themed, potentially the odd thundery mixed. Obviously, at this time of year, wouldn't be surprised to be mixed in. But I would say it won't be a complete washout because there will be some dry days to look forward to. But low pressure will start to take a bit of a return, I would say, into mainly the third week of April. But there will be warm, dry days, but there could be some wet ones as well, in terms of occasional bands of rain or some showers feeding in. Now, then as we approach into the third weekend, probably a very changeable theme with sunshine and showers likely to be. Temperatures may be a bit lower as well, but nothing too cold though. Temperatures will probably be in average value. So, and again, from around that time of year, the sun will be quite strong. So obviously you can feel the effects of that strong sun. So even temperatures may just be around average. If you're out from the breeze and the sun, will still feel quite warm indeed. And then the fourth or the last full week of April, let's say from the 22nd to the 26th, the working week. Now obviously the third weekend I've almost forgot to mention it was Easter, so probably likely to be a fairly average Easter, with might be a chilly morning and then a fairly decent afternoon with sunshine and possibly some isolated showers. The weather probably stays a little bit mixed into the fourth week as well. So again, bright days will be to look forward, but other days, yeah, low pressure might start to take a little bit more in control at times during the fourth week. Temperatures, again, nothing too major. Then occasionally 1 or 2 days, it could be a little bit below average, but there will be other days, temperatures may be into the mid-teens. So I would say the temperatures overall will be again around average as we get winds from a westerly direction. It could be a bit windy as well. But like I said, the weather will stay on a changeable theme into the fourth week of April. Some dry days, wet days as well, but temperatures nothing too cold, nothing too warm as well. So like I said, it'll be around average at best, and that's what I would probably predict throughout the fourth week. And then the final weekend of April, it could turn probably a bit colder again for a time, with quite a bit of rain possible for the closing weekend of April. So don't expect the end of April to be a heat wave by any means in terms of prediction wise, but it could be a bit of a slight washout. So, and then the last few then we push the last 2 days of April. The weather will stay changeable once again, but maybe probably a bit more sunshine to look forward to, and temperatures probably might recover back into the mid-teens by the last 2 days of April. So overall, what did the summary will reveal? So, sunshine totals probably slightly above average in April, especially for the first half. When we get sunny days, it will feel very pleasant. Rainfall totals could be slightly below average despite more rain to contend in the second half. It could be a fairly dry month, if I'm going to be honest with you. And also, temperatures will be warmer than average. It will be unlikely to see the mid-20s this year, but on the amount of days where temperatures will be above the seasonal value, we could see some pretty pleasant days to look forward to. So once again, I will be predicting it will be a fairly warm, bright, and a dry month. So I'm optimistic on the April outlook. Do you agree with me? Give it a like. If you disagree, that's fine, dislike, but no nasty comments. They will be removed, and I'm serious on that. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this outlook, and always here for you if you have any questions, comment below. And of course, if you want me to do any other videos, also comment below. Alright guys, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Have a fantastic rest of your week. And the storm's now out.